Yo, what's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Man, I hate close calls. That's the topic of today's video. Close calls. We as riders are in a more vulnerable position in traffic, obviously, and close calls are regrettably a part of riding. But how should you handle a close call? Well, that is the topic of today's video. I've identified 3 big steps I think you need to follow when encountering a close call. So let's go ahead and look at those 3 steps. So let's get out and ride firstly. There we go. So 3 steps on how to handle a close call. First step is your safety, because that's the first thing you need to think about. If you are in a dangerous situation still after the close call, go ahead and leave the situation in a legal and normal manner. So get yourself to safety if needed. If you are agitated or you're having problems with whatever emotionally, go ahead and stop. Go to the side of the road. Stop your ride for a second and take it easy. And that's the second thing you need to think about. You need to calm down, compose yourself, because there's no need for you to become emotional or mad. You'll probably make a bad situation even worse by becoming too emotional, and that will affect your riding and endanger you some more. So compose yourself, take it easy, evade the situation or leave the situation if needed, and that should be your direct reaction. And if you want, you can leave it at that. If it's just a small situation or whatever, or you don't really want to go further into this, then you're okay by just keeping on riding and going to where you need to go. So I will be showing you guys an example for all 3 steps on how to handle a close call. So I'm entering a roundabout right here, and to my right there is someone who cuts me off and comes quite close. So that's my immediate reaction, and then I continue on riding. There we go, I rewound a little bit, and for this part on safety, let's see what I did to keep myself safe. Someone was coming up from behind me. The first thing I did was check my mirror, saw the person behind me, and I accelerated so I could get out of the way. And right here I kept some distance to get myself a safety buffer. So in this situation I kept myself safe. But there's 2 more steps to this if you want to take it a little bit further. So the second step is analyze the situation. That really shows what kind of rider you are. If you really analyze the situation to become better at riding in whatever way possible, so if you, let's go this way, analyze the situation, you'll be able to learn from it. So was it your mistake? Be honest. What could you have done differently to not encounter, damn it. Okay, I think I need to turn around. Yep, need to turn around. That's not legal to do here. Okay. So was it your own mistake? What could you have done differently, But even if it was other people's mistakes, then maybe you should think about what you could have done differently to anticipate on what happens, or even compensate for their mistakes. Because 1, you are just more vulnerable. You are in a more vulnerable position as a rider. And secondly, mostly drivers in cars, they just don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about what happened. So it's just the best that you just learn from whatever happened, even if it was not your mistake. I'll go ahead and turn here. There we go. So that's the second thing. Analyze the situation to become a better rider, even if it wasn't your mistake. So let's go ahead and analyze this situation. So right here, this driver couldn't see me. And also here, his line of sight was obstructed by the traffic sign. And yeah, sure, he probably shouldn't have entered the roundabout if he wasn't sure if somebody was there. But this situation probably happened because he didn't see me. I had the right of way because I was on the roundabout, so what could I have done to compensate for their mistake? Maybe I could have wore something that's more high-vis, or maybe I could have adjusted my position to make myself more visible, but I probably also could have anticipated on the situation by slowing down and letting them go on the roundabout. And then the third thing, the third step on how to handle a close call is learning. There's two things that I want to say about this. Firstly, if you analyze your riding and what you did in that situation, what could you have done differently? What could you done a bit better? And if you're really honest with yourself, most of the time you can find something that you can improve on. For example, if someone pulled out in front of you, or maybe someone took you right away and you needed to swerve, and you think to yourself, you know what, I could have swerved better, more effectively, I could have swerved faster or whatever, then go ahead and go to an empty parking lot and practice on swerving. That will benefit you next time you need to swerve, and it will make you a better rider and a safer rider because of that. Or maybe you needed to perform an emergency stop and your progressive braking wasn't on point, then go ahead and practice that. Practice on progressive braking, practice on shortening your braking distance and stuff like that. You know, there's always things you can improve your riding on. So be honest with yourself and, you know, just think about what could you have done better and just practice that. And the next thing I want to say is, in the situation itself, if the opportunity shows itself to go ahead and talk to whoever was involved in the situation, if they're open to that, then go ahead. Hello, thank you. Then go ahead and talk to them. You know, it's not always needed at all. It's also not always a good idea to talk to whoever was involved in the close call, but if they are calm, if you compose yourself, then maybe it's a good idea to talk to them, to really understand what happened, to learn from those mistakes and make them learn from their mistakes also, you know. Maybe show them that they need to watch out for us riders because we are in such a vulnerable position already. So maybe that's a good opportunity to do that. But again, if one of both of you is agitated in some way, then don't, you know. If you haven't calmed down yourself, then don't try to go ahead and talk to them. You'll make a dangerous situation or a bad situation even worse. And if they are, you know, showing you the finger or whatever, or being mad, just leave it. Just leave it at that, and go ahead and ride on. But if the situation is okay, if you're both calm, if you're, for example, in front of a traffic light, in front of a red light, you can maybe stand next to them, make them roll down the window and talk. But that, again, is not a necessity at all. It's maybe a good way to for both of you to learn from the situation and then, you know, move on with your life. So as you can see right here, this person came really close, and that makes me think, what if it were to be a little bit closer, then I would have had to make an emergency stop while in a corner. So that requires me to stand the bike up and stop as quickly as possible. So if I would feel as if I weren't capable of doing that, that would be something that I would practice in a parking lot. So there we go, that's it. That's what I really wanted to say. 3 steps to how you should handle a close call. If you like the video, go ahead, leave a like, comment down below with whatever you think about this, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one, and ride safe.